Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to our channel, where we talk about love, life, and everything in between. Today we're diving into a topic that's incredibly important, but often overlooked. The things you should never do for a man, no matter how much you love him. Now, before we start, I want to be clear. This isn't about loving less or being selfish. This is about loving yourself enough to maintain the boundaries that actually make relationships stronger and healthier. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's have this important conversation together. Ladies, we need to talk, and this conversation might be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. I've seen too many amazing women lose themselves in the name of love, thinking that sacrifice equals devotion. But here's the truth nobody talks about. There are certain lines you should never cross, certain things you should never do, no matter how much you love a man. Love is supposed to elevate you, not diminish you. It's supposed to be a partnership where both people grow, not where one person shrinks to make the other feel bigger. So today I'm going to share with you the crucial boundaries every woman needs to maintain, because your worth isn't determined by how much you're willing to give up for someone else. Let's start with the big one. Never abandon your dreams and ambitions for a man. I cannot stress this enough. Your dreams matter, your goals matter, your career matters. If a man truly loves you, he will support your ambitions, not ask you to abandon them. I've seen women turn down job opportunities, skip college, or give up their entrepreneurial dreams because their partner felt threatened or inconvenienced. This is not love. This is control. Your dreams are part of what makes you who you are. They're part of your essence, your passion, and your drive. When you give them up for someone else, you're not just sacrificing your future, you're sacrificing pieces of your soul. And here's what happens. You'll resent him for it eventually. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday you'll wake up and realize you gave up everything that made you feel alive. The right man will be your biggest cheerleader. He'll rearrange his schedule to support your goals. He'll celebrate your wins like they're his own. He'll push you to be better, not ask you to be less. If he's asking you to choose between him and your dreams, he's not the one. Period. Next. Never isolate yourself from your friends and family for a man. This is such a common mistake, and it's often gradual. It starts innocently. Maybe he doesn't like your best friend, or he thinks your family is too involved in your life. Maybe he wants to spend every free moment with you, which feels romantic at first, but slowly your social circle shrinks until he becomes your entire world. This is dangerous territory. Your relationships with friends and family existed before him, and they should continue to exist with him. These people know you, love you, and provide perspectives that keep you grounded. When you isolate yourself, you lose your support system, your reality check, and often your sense of self. Healthy relationships encourage you to maintain your other relationships. A secure man understands that your friendships and family connections don't threaten your relationship with him. They enhance it. They make you happier, more well-rounded, and more interesting. If he's trying to separate you from the people who love you, it's not because he loves you more, it's because he wants to control you more. Never compromise your values or morals for a man. This one hits deep because it's about your core identity. Your values are your compass. They guide your decisions, shape your character, and define who you are as a person. When you compromise them for someone else, you lose yourself in the most fundamental way. Maybe he wants you to lie for him. Maybe he's asking you to do things that make you uncomfortable. Maybe he's pressuring you to change your stance on important issues just to keep the peace. Whatever it is, when you start bending your moral compass for someone else, you're walking down a dangerous path. Your values aren't negotiable. They're not up for discussion or compromise. The right person will respect your moral boundaries and share similar values. If he's constantly pushing you to act against your conscience, he doesn't respect who you are at your core. And without that respect, you don't have a foundation for a healthy relationship. Never finance his lifestyle or become his financial crutch. Money is a sensitive topic, but we need to address it. Supporting each other financially during tough times is normal in committed relationships. But becoming someone's personal ATM is not. If he consistently relies on you to pay his bills, fund his lifestyle, or bail him out of financial trouble without making genuine efforts to improve his situation, you're not his partner, you're his benefactor. Financial abuse is real, and it often starts subtly. He might say he's going through a rough patch, or he might make you feel guilty for having more money than him. He might promise to pay you back, but never does. Before you know it, you're funding his life while he contributes nothing to yours. A real man handles his responsibilities. He doesn't expect his woman to carry his financial burdens indefinitely. He appreciates help when it's offered, but he doesn't demand it or manipulate you into providing it. If he's comfortable letting you struggle financially while he benefits from your generosity, he's not the one for you. Never tolerate disrespect, whether it's towards you or others. This is non-negotiable. Respect is the foundation of every healthy relationship. If he doesn't respect you, nothing else matters. And here's something important. How he treats other people, especially those who can't do anything for him, shows you who he really is. Does he speak to waitstaff rudely? Does he disrespect his mother? Does he talk down to people he considers beneath him? These are red flags. If he can't show basic respect to others, he won't consistently respect you either. You might be the exception now, but exceptions don't last forever, and of course, he should never disrespect you directly. This means no name-calling, no put-downs, no yelling, no threats, and no attempts to make you feel small. It doesn't matter if he's having a bad day, if he's stressed, or if he's been drinking. There's no excuse for disrespect. Never ignore your instincts or red flags because you love him. Your intuition is powerful. It's that little voice that tells you something isn't right, even when everything seems perfect on the surface. Too often, we silence this voice because we want love to work out so badly. But your instincts are there for a reason. They're your internal warning system, developed through years of experience and observation. When something feels off, it usually is. Don't ignore the red flags because you're hoping he'll change. Don't make excuses for behavior that makes you uncomfortable. Don't rationalize away your concerns because you love him. Love doesn't require you to ignore your better judgment. In fact, love should make you feel safe enough to trust your instincts. If you constantly feel like you need to question your own perceptions or walk on eggshells, that's your intuition telling you something is wrong. Never change your fundamental personality to please him. You are not a rough draft that needs editing. You are not a project that needs fixing. You are a complete, wonderful person exactly as you are. If he fell in love with you, he fell in love with who you are right now. So why would you need to change that? Sure, we all grow and evolve in relationships. We learn from each other, adopt new interests, and sometimes adjust our habits. But there's a difference between growing together and changing yourself to fit someone else's ideal. If he's constantly criticizing aspects of your personality, asking you to be less talkative, less ambitious, less emotional, or less anything that makes you uniquely you, he doesn't love you. He loves his idea of who you could become. The right person will love your quirks, your passions, and your way of expressing yourself. They'll appreciate your sense of humor, your intelligence, and your sensitivity. They won't try to mold you into someone else. They'll celebrate the person you already are. Never accept emotional manipulation or guilt trips. Manipulation is insidious because it often masquerades as love. He might say things like, "If you really loved me, you would," or "You're being selfish because you won't." These are manipulation tactics designed to make you feel guilty for having boundaries or needs. Emotional manipulation can also look like the silent treatment, making you feel crazy for having legitimate concerns, or using your insecurities against you. He might threaten to leave every time you disagree, or he might use your love for him as a weapon to get his way. Love doesn't manipulate. Love doesn't use guilt as a tool. Love doesn't make you feel bad for having needs or boundaries. Love Is understanding, patient, and respectful. If he's constantly making you feel guilty for being yourself or having standards, he's not loving you, he's controlling you. Never sacrifice your physical or mental health for a relationship. This is perhaps the most important point of all. Your health, both physical and mental, is your most valuable asset. Without it, you have nothing. If a relationship is making you sick, anxious, depressed, or physically unwell, it's time to seriously evaluate whether it's worth it. Stress from a toxic relationship can manifest in countless ways. Insomnia, loss of appetite, constant anxiety, depression, headaches, digestive issues, and so much more. Your body is trying to tell you something. Don't ignore these signals. Mental health is equally important. If being with him makes you feel constantly on edge, if you're losing confidence in yourself, if you're becoming someone you don't recognize, the relationship is harming you. Love should make you feel better about yourself, not worse. Never accept physical violence or threats of violence. This should go without saying, but it needs to be said clearly. No man should ever lay a hand on you in anger. Not once, not ever. I don't care how sorry he is afterward. I don't care what his excuse is. I don't care if he says it will never happen again. Physical violence is never acceptable, and it's not just hitting. It's pushing, shoving, grabbing, blocking your way, throwing things, or threatening to hurt you. It's also threats of violence, saying he'll hurt you, your pets, your family, or your property. These are all forms of abuse, and they're all unacceptable. If this is happening to you, please reach out for help. There are resources available, people who understand, and ways to get out safely. You deserve to be safe. You deserve to be loved without fear. Never abandon your independence. Independence is not the enemy of love. In fact, it's what makes love stronger. When you maintain your independence, you're choosing to be with someone, not needing to be with them. There's a huge difference. Independence means having your own interests, your own income, your own friends, your own space, and your own thoughts. It means being able to function as a whole person, whether you're in a relationship or not. It means not needing someone else to complete you because you're already complete. Some men feel threatened by independent women, but these aren't the men you want. The right man will appreciate your independence. He'll respect your autonomy. He'll understand that you're with him by choice, not by necessity, and that makes your love more valuable, not less. Never compromise your future for his comfort. This is about thinking long-term. Sometimes the things that make him comfortable in the short term can sabotage your future. Maybe he doesn't want you to take that job in another city, even though it's perfect for your career. Maybe he doesn't want you to go back to school because it means less time with him. Maybe he doesn't want you to save money because he wants to spend it on immediate pleasures. Your future matters. Your security matters. Your growth matters. If he's asking you to make decisions that benefit him now, but hurt you later, he's being selfish. A man who truly loves you will encourage you to make choices that set you up for success, even if it means some temporary inconvenience for him. Never tolerate a lack of commitment from someone you're fully committed to. If you're giving your all to someone who won't even define the relationship, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak. If he's keeping his options open while expecting you to be exclusive, that's not fair to you. Commitment isn't just about monogamy. It's about consistency, reliability, and making you a priority. It's about including you in his future plans. It's about being there for you during difficult times. It's about choosing you again and again, not just when it's convenient. If he's not ready for commitment, that's his right. But you also have the right to decide if you're willing to wait around for someone who might never choose you fully. Your time is valuable. Your love is valuable. Don't waste either on someone who doesn't appreciate what you're offering. Never ignore the way he treats his ex-partners. This is a big one that often gets overlooked. How a man talks about his ex-girlfriends or ex-wife tells you a lot about his character and how he might treat you someday. If he speaks terribly about every woman he's ever been with, if he takes no responsibility for past relationship failures, if he seems to have a pattern of toxic relationships, these are warning signs. Now, I'm not saying he needs to be best friends with his exes. Some relationships end badly, and some people are genuinely difficult. But if he portrays every ex as crazy or toxic while painting himself as the victim, be cautious. Either he has terrible judgment in partners, or he's not taking responsibility for his role in these failed relationships. The way he handles breakups also matters. Does he respect boundaries? Does he speak about exes with basic human decency? Does he maintain appropriate boundaries with ex-partners who might still be in his life? These behaviors give you insight into his character and emotional maturity. Never accept being hidden or kept secret. If he's not proud to be with you, if he's not willing to introduce you to his friends and family, if he wants to keep your relationship under wraps, that's a red flag. You're not someone's dirty little secret. You're not something to be ashamed of. There might be legitimate reasons for privacy in the very early stages of dating, but if you've been together for months and he's still not ready to acknowledge your relationship publicly, something is wrong. Either he's not serious about you, he's keeping his options open, or he's in another relationship. You deserve someone who is proud to be with you, someone who wants to show you off to his friends and family, someone who posts pictures with you on social media, someone who includes you in his social life. If he's not doing these things, ask yourself why. Never accept breadcrumbs when you deserve the whole meal. This is about recognizing your worth and not settling for less than you deserve. Breadcrumbs are those little bits of attention, affection, or effort that keep you hanging on, but never satisfy you completely. Maybe he only texts you late at night. Maybe he only sees you when it's convenient for him. Maybe he gives you just enough attention to keep you interested, but never enough to make you feel secure. Maybe he makes grand gestures occasionally, but ignores you most of the time. You deserve consistency. You deserve someone who makes you a priority, not an option. You deserve someone who shows up for you regularly, not just when they feel like it. Stop accepting breadcrumbs and start demanding the whole meal. Never suppress your emotions to keep him comfortable. Your feelings are valid, all of them. The happy ones, the sad ones, the angry ones, the confused ones. You're a human being with a full range of emotions, and you shouldn't have to hide parts of yourself to make someone else comfortable. If he can't handle your emotions, he can't handle you. If he tells you you're too sensitive or too emotional, he's essentially telling you that your humanity is inconvenient for him. If he shuts down when you try to express your feelings, he's showing you that his comfort is more important than your emotional well-being. The right person will hold space for your emotions. They'll comfort you when you're sad, celebrate with you when you're happy, and work through conflicts with you when you're angry. They won't make you feel bad for having feelings. Never compete with other women for his attention. If he's making you feel like you need to compete with other women, whether it's his female friends, his ex-girlfriends, or random women on social media, he's not ready for a committed relationship. You shouldn't have to prove you're better than other women to keep your man's attention. This includes competing with unrealistic standards set by social media, movies, or his fantasies. You're not in competition with anyone. You're unique, you're valuable, and you're enough exactly as you are. If he's making you feel like you need to change your appearance, your behavior, or your personality to measure up to other women, he's not the one for you. A secure man who is truly interested in you won't give you reasons to feel insecure about other women. He'll reassure you when you need it. He'll maintain appropriate boundaries with other women, and he'll make you feel like you're the only woman in the world when you're with him. Never apologize for having standards. Having standards isn't being picky. It's being selective. It's knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. Your standards are your boundaries, and they're there to protect you. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for having expectations in a relationship. You have the right to expect respect, loyalty, honesty, communication, and effort. These aren't unreasonable demands, they're the basics of a healthy relationship. If someone can't meet your standards, that doesn't mean you need to lower them. It means they're not the right person for you. Don't dim your light to make someone else feel brighter. Don't shrink your expectations to fit someone else's limitations. Never lose yourself in the process of loving someone else. This is the umbrella that covers everything we've talked about today. At the end of the day, you are a complete, whole, valuable person with or without a relationship. Your identity shouldn't be dependent on another person. When you lose yourself in a relationship, you lose the very thing that made you attractive in the first place. You lose your spark, your passion, and your individuality. You become a shell of who you used to be. And ironically, this often pushes away the very person you were trying to please. Loving someone doesn't mean disappearing. It doesn't mean becoming less than you are. It means sharing your full, authentic self with someone who appreciates all of you. It means growing together while maintaining your individual identities. Here's what I want you to remember. You can love someone deeply and still maintain your boundaries. You can be devoted to someone and still put yourself first when necessary. You can be in a committed relationship and still be an independent person. These things aren't contradictory, they're complementary. The right person will respect your boundaries. They'll support your independence. They'll celebrate your achievements. They'll love you for who you are, not who they want you to become. They'll add to your life, not subtract from it. If you're in a relationship where you're doing any of the things I've mentioned today, it's time to have an honest conversation with yourself. Are you truly happy? Are you growing? Are you being treated with the respect and love you deserve? If the answer is no, it's time to make some changes. And if you're single, use this as a guide for what to look for and what to avoid. Don't settle for someone who asks you to be less than you are. Don't compromise your values for the sake of not being alone. Don't sacrifice your dreams for someone who doesn't support them. Remember, you are worthy of love, exactly as you are. You deserve someone who celebrates your strengths, supports your dreams, and respects your boundaries. You deserve someone who makes you feel more like yourself, not less. You deserve someone who adds to your life, not takes away from it. Love yourself enough to maintain these boundaries. Love yourself enough to walk away from situations that don't serve you. Love yourself enough to believe that you deserve better. Because you do. You absolutely do. The most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. Make sure you're treating that relationship with the respect and love it deserves. Everything else will follow. Stay strong, stay true to yourself, and remember that you are enough. You have always been enough. And the right person will see that and appreciate it without asking you to change a single thing. Thank you for listening to this important message. I hope it resonates with you and helps you build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Remember, you deserve love that lifts you up, not love that tears you down. Never forget your worth, and never let anyone convince you that you're asking for too much when you're simply asking for what you deserve. You are powerful, you are valuable, you are worthy of love and respect. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And most importantly, don't let anyone convince you to settle for less than you deserve in the name of love. True love will never ask you to diminish yourself. True love will celebrate everything that makes you uniquely you. Hold on to that truth and let it guide you in all your relationships. You've got this, and I believe in you completely. I hope this video opened your eyes to the importance of maintaining your sense of self in relationships. Remember, the right person will love and respect you for who you are, boundaries and all. They won't ask you to shrink yourself or sacrifice your dreams for their comfort. If this resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more empowering content. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing from you. And remember, you deserve a love that adds to your life, not one that takes away from it. Until next time, keep shining your beautiful light.